Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to a Paws on Netflix podcast on a Saturday.
Yes! In today's podcast, we're covering the Netflix exclusive Pokemon film, Secrets of the Jungle.
Yes, and in this delightful film, Ash meets a boy named Coco who's being raised in the jungle by a Zarude Pokemon. Mm-hmm. And together they stop a greedy developer from destroying Coco's home in the jungle.
Yeah. And before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, notification buttons on future podcasts and World of Paws videos.
Absolutely.
If you want like a short description of this movie, this is Tarzan meets Pokemon.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Absolutely. But it was done in a new way. And again, I love when people take stories that are common and being told a million times and give it a new, fresh spin, and it's enjoyable. And they did that with Secrets of the Jungle.
Yes.
We've actually seen this movie twice.
Yeah.
The first time, we watched it, kind of ran through it, and we said, Scott, there's so much we missed probably. So we watched it a second time.
Right.
And then we really got to appreciate it more the second time than the first time. I think we were so excited the first time it was on that we just rushed through it. Mm-hmm. But the second time, we took our time, we saw all the nuances and the messages and the Team Rocket fun and Coco, how he was truly meant to be as a character in this movie.
Right.
And a different Ash, and we have to say that because Ash and Team Rocket didn't know each other.
Right. This is one of those movies that's in the alternate universe timeline as they've established. So in this one, he doesn't meet all the friends from the different seasons. He's kind of on his own for a long time in here and just kind of meets friends that come and go every movie. And like I said, Team Rocket, he and Team Rocket never met each other. All Team Rocket knows they want to catch the Pikachu, but they don't know Ash personally.
Right.
So
and that was kind of odd to watch. But hey, it was just for one movie, so we're good.
Right. And in here, Ash ends up meeting Coco. And before he even gets to Ash, though, you kind of get this kind of little long prologue with Coco and how he was raised by Zarude Pokemon.
And I like to say that's one of the best things about the Pokemon movies when they've been excellent. They've rarely not been good.
Right.
That you get a backstory prior to the intro, and then you get into the movie, and it's a wonderful formula that they've developed, and they've so far have adhered to.
Right, because we realized it was one from Mewtwo, and we never saw when we watched the film because it was cut out. So I'm glad they left it in here in its entirety for this film. And as we said, this is like Tarzan, but they don't go and immediately copy off the book or the Disney movie. You can probably feel some elements of that movie, but they don't make it one for one where it's really obvious. Like for here, all the Zarude are male, and you kind of don't know how that works. And when he wants to keep Coco because he was just by himself. The others are against it. They don't want a human there. And he said, "I'll just raise him," and they kind of like tell him if he takes care of the human, he can't come back. So he ends up living on his own and raising Coco for like 10 years.
And being Coco's superhero with his pink blanket around his neck. I love that part. It was like, he's a superhero. He's got his cape on and he never takes the cape off.
Right.
Until later in the movie when something happens. But I loved it. I'm like, look, he's a superhero.
Yes.
That's a cape.
Yeah, so we didn't even realize all this time that's what it ended up being.
The first time, right. The second time we did.
Right. So, and here they established that Coco can talk to Pokemon, and really only Pokemon until Ash comes in. Because when you're seeing it from his point of view, the Pokemon are speaking English. And Coco speaks English when we're hearing them speaking Pokemon.
Right.
When he speaks to Ash, he starts saying Pokemon sounds and names and not English. So we end up, they kind of switch back and forth between them speaking English and speaking Pokemon, and they make it clear who we're focusing on depending on who's speaking or what they're saying.
Right. So, of course, he not had any human contact prior to meeting Ash, which I think is hilarious. And then Ash being Ash, friendly, personable, open-hearted, and just being Ash, talks to him, and he likes Ash. How can you not like Ash?
Right.
And then he gets clothes, and they go to eat, and all this.
Right.
I'm like, Ash is carrying around some mad cash, because he can do all this stuff.
Right? Where's this money coming from?
And then, of course, Coco wants to take him back home with him. so he can meet his Dada,
Right.
which is what he calls him. And I love the way the voice actor says Dada.
Yeah.
It's just adorable. Dada! Dada!
Right.
He's always excited every time he says it.
Yes. And they actually do a good job on showing the relationship. Even when, you know, they kind of have to speed up just a little bit, it doesn't feel like they rushed in and want you to immediately like the character and immediately get into this. They kind of show you, like, as the music's going for the opening credits, him raising him and how he, you know, walks and acts like a Zarude, and how he naturally wants to help Pokemon in trouble in the jungle. He tries to settle disputes and things that happen between them, and he wants to protect all Pokemon in the jungle. And
Zarude, I would say, are closest to being like the apes in Tarzan, but they don't look ape-like. They really don't.
They look kind of dog-like, I think, a little bit.
But you get the connection that they're supposed to be like the apes in Tarzan. You're
right. And I think they're new Pokemon because we haven't seen them come up in any of the other seasons we watched, or Sun and Moon, or Journey. So I think they kind of
exclusive to this movie.
Yeah. So they could do a Tarzan parallel. Yeah.
So Team Rocket is in this movie, and they are posing as research assistants.
Yeah.
To the guy who has been looking for this particular tree and body of water that is in the jungle. And we won't tell you too much about this guy. We don't want to ruin the movie for you if you haven't seen it. But he's been looking for as many years as Coco has been, might as well say, lost in the jungle. And then they find out that Coco is still alive because he's with Ash, and he has on a pendant from his mom and his dad.
Yes.
And so the rest of it we won't reveal to you because it kind of will spoil the story for you if you haven't seen it. But this guy, of course, like every Pokemon researcher that appears in a movie, is a bad guy.
Here we
That's all I will
go.
say. We knew he was a bad guy the moment he got on screen because in the Pokemon universe of movies, none of them are ever good guys. I mean, none of them. So it's going to be a bad guy.
And that's like really one of the very few issues with it, is that they kind of go through the same thing. Like after the first 3 to 4 movies of the franchise, all the villains started being Pokemon developers and tearing them down and poaching and all that. That started being the only villains when they did the first 3 movies. Like the first one, Mewtwo was the villain. The second one, it was
Team Rocket saved the world.
Right, and it was actually more of like saving the world instead of there being a villain. It was more like saving the world from calamity. Third one was a little girl who wasn't trying to be a villain but was causing danger without realizing how she was hurting. They were having different types of antagonists and conflicts. Now it's just poacher, 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 and now at this point it's so like tropey now for them that you, unless it's like this movie where they at least did something new with it, it kind of feels like the same thing.
Now, full disclosure, we haven't watched all the movies for XYZ.
Yeah.
Because, guys, we're having a difficult time finding the 18th and 19th seasons.
Yeah.
We can't buy them. We can't find them. If you know where we can watch them, and it's not a legal site, let us know in the comments below, because we can't do those podcasts until we finish them, and we can't watch those movies. Now, in fairness, maybe a couple of those movies aren't like that.
Yeah.
But we won't know until we watch seasons 18 and 19, and then we can watch the movies. But we do need your help trying to finish the Pokemon franchise entirely. And while I'm mentioning that, if there are other things online that are being made that have been separate from the Pokemon series, like the Twilight series and so forth, let us know about them in the comments, and we will definitely check them out and cover them as well.
Right.
Now back to Team Rocket being in here.
Yes.
They were fake assistants, and they were really trying to get their hands on something in particular we won't reveal to you. But they were a different Team Rocket. Yes, they were still goofy. James had his hair pulled back. It was hilarious. And Meowth had a wig on, and somehow with this little page boy wig, they believe Meowth was human, I guess, because he can talk.
Right.
And Wobbuffet is there, and he's just Wobbuffet, so go figure. What's different about them is, for some reason, Rascal said, I said, they look shorter or smaller, and you said they are.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand why they made them smaller.
Yeah. Not just for the design change, because after Sun and Moon they tried to make Ash look younger. They also changed Team Rocket's outfits. As you know, so they got short and long sleeves now. And what?
And Jesse has no sleeves at all.
Right. And then James has black sleeves, and it's like, all right. And I think for here, I remember them saying at one point they redesigned some of the characters so they look younger, and they wanted Team Rocket to look a little younger. And I was a little confused because when we looked it up, because these people don't age, they're the same age. Like Ash is the same age as he is. He's still 10. They're only in their very early 20s.
So they're like, still young.
Yeah,
already.
they're like 20, either 20, 21, 22. They're around those three ages, and it's like, well, how much younger they need to be?
They don't look like teens. Is that what?
What?
It is?
There in an episode they said, I'm 15, I'm 12, and Meowth was a baby. They already did that, and like, we know you're not that young.
So in here, they are different, and we get to see them have morals in here. Not saying they don't normally. There's a point to this. We get to see they have morals where they'll only go so far, because in here they're being asked to do something. They're like, we're not doing that.
Yes.
And they walk away, which was great to see. Again, we won't reveal these things because it'll spoil your watching the movie. If you've already seen it, then you'll know what we're speaking of.
And it kind of did a similar thing in Sun and Moon when another researcher, you see the pattern, or professor, wanted to take away some Pokemon from some of the kids in there, and they were kind of implying they were gonna kill them for the power. And they told them, we're not gonna do that. And we like to steal, we like to profit, but not at the cost of stealing a Pokemon away from a kid and taking their lives. Not even if you pay us, we're not doing it. And that's one of the few times they'll walk away from money if they don't want to take a Pokemon's life.
Right.
So it's something along the lines of that,
So, this movie is exclusively available on Netflix, as far as we know. If you've seen it, let us know what you think in the comments below. If you haven't seen it, it's definitely one you should see. It's beautifully animated. It's a great story. It's told in a different way. You get to see more Ash. You get to see him make another friend. You get to see another person who he's made an impression on and change their lives, which Ash always does. You get to see a new Pokemon, Zarude, and you get to see Team Rocket be a little different, but still be Team Rocket for the most part.
And you get to see some really fantastic animation. It's probably some of the best ones they've done in a while.
So let us know what you think in the comments below. If you have seen it, if you haven't watched it, come back and let us know what you think.
And if you haven't already, subscribe for updates and music videos and favorite anime series, animated shows, and all things animation.
Also, we want to let you know that this particular movie is part of a Netflix collection, that they have other movies that are exclusive to Netflix. So if you watch it, click more like this and it'll show you the collection, or it actually may say Pokemon collection. And you'll get to see all the movies they have there. We've covered all the other movies. If you haven't seen them, hopefully Rascal will put the links or attach the cards to them, so you can check those out as well.
Absolutely. So, thank you so much for watching. I'm Master Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment. Thank you so much for your support and listening to us and sharing our joy of all things anime and animation. Let us know if you want us to support you as well. Leave a link below or the name of your channel, and we'll be sure to check it out.
Yes. Have a toontastic day.
Peace.